Good morning YouTube, Lofty Biker here. I just get the bike out the garage, go upstairs and pick Linny up, and away we go. Heading towards Andora today, Andora La Vella. Underground parking. Not that I don't think your bike would be safe if you left it outside. It's always nice in the underground parking. So I'll just nip round the front and get Linny and we'll get off. Well, here we are YouTube, 14 degrees, it's about 9:30, oh it's actually gone 10 o'clock, I didn't think it was that late. The Prados Odessa, cracking little place. Right, okay Linny, jump on. Okay, let's get off. Okay, so we've had 2 nights at the Prados, and it looks like most of that bad weather that came through England has come through France, and it does appear it's on the turn, so I think we've got a chance for some half decent weather for the next week, so that's good. This is the road we came down yesterday when we did the mini loop, so I shan't show you much of this. I'll wait till we get down onto the main 260, so plenty of time. Allegedly, this stretch is one of the best stretches of road in the world. Allegedly. One of the times I came to Spain a couple of 3 years ago, we saw Simon Hargreaves of Ride magazine fame on the boat, and we parked next to each other, and he was on the brand new RS 1250 and I was on my RS 1200. We had a bit of a chat, and I said, where you going? He says, down through Jaca to Andora. He says, it's fabulous. I said, I'll do that road one of the days, because of course we were going Picos that time. So it's quite interesting. And every now and again they have the supplements in Ride magazine, and Simon Hargreaves, he put it in the one, it was Spain. And of course, roads to ride, best routes. It's in there. If you can download his route, the actual route he took. He went down with Chippy Wood. He was on a Yamaha, and of course he was on his R1250, and they came this way, and like I say, allegedly one of the best roads in the world. Tarmac, of course, tarmac. We don't include the off-road stuff. That's for special people with special bikes. Us normal people who ride on the roads day in, day out, we prefer 17-inch rims. But it looks decent, doesn't it? Look at the views. The good news is the forecast heavy rain for this morning and overnight didn't appear, and there's a big thing in the sky called the sun. So we've not gone far from Fishguard, and we're on a lovely road. I can see exactly what it means. It's twisty, twisty, twisty. We're doing 40 kilometres an hour. To be honest, you wouldn't really want to go a lot faster, because you'd have a nice enjoyable bimble about the mountains. But it is a cracking road. They always used to say about the Picos being the pinnacle, but so far this isn't disappointing. I've got a Norwegian in front of me at the moment who's just slowing progress a little bit, but I'll nip past him in a moment. Okay, so we've cleared the car, the Norwegian, who's having a nice steady peruse. So what do you think of it so far? Look at the views. Lots of the rivers are very low. There's not much water flowing down the mountains. I would say they've not had a lot of rain, although they're expecting some now as the season moves on. So just see what the tunnel's like. No, it's not very long. There you go. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? I'm a big fan of this part of Spain. I think it's lovely. There are more tunnels. Peepo. We're just coming through a little village. Just cop a look at the mountain range up there. I'm hoping you'll get a good view on the camera. It's gorgeous. It's the Pyrenees. This is the old trucking route, the 260. It's the way everybody used to have to come before they put the motorway down to Zaragoza. So it's not a bad road. There are quite a few towns en route. This is one of them, so you could use any one of these as a stopover if you wanted to. This one looks a bit more modern than the last town we went to. This is Ainsa. Anyway, back on the road. I've just put the camera on down here to give you a look at the vista, and all of a sudden a load of trees appear. Oh dear. It's amazing how they cut these roads. We're virtually following the riverbed down the valley. Wind into the bottom and then we'll wind it back up the other side. Road service is generally very good, smooth. Seen a few bikes about this morning. I was just commenting to Linny that we've seen quite a few off-roady style bikes and dirty big adventure bikes as well. So whether people are mixing a bit of road riding, a bit of off-road riding, it's a good area for it. I believe there's lots and lots of green lanes down this way where you can head off into the mountain. It is absolutely beautiful though, I've got to say. For some reason this road has been designated as an 80. It's fairly straight, not too twisty, fairly flat, but 80. So whether it's an accident black spot where in the past people have been a bit naughty on it, I don't know. In the distance you can just see a line of cloud sitting on the Pyrenees, like a pillar on top of a bed. Look at that. I've just put the camera on down this big hill. We've literally gone up round the side of the mountain and down the other side. The views are just unbelievable. I'm hoping it'll pick that up on the camera. You can see the road going down into the valley, then snaking up the other side. We're approaching a fairly bigger place called Campo. I've never been there before. I'll let you know what it's like, but I just thought I'd show you that. The vista is, oh, it's amazing. Okay, so if you do put it in your sat nav to get across to Andorra, it would take a right there at Campo and pick another road up. But if you want to ride the 260 all the way, it goes up and round and comes back down and joins the rest of it further round. But I wanted to do the 260 all the way, so we're going up to Castle John, and when we get up there we're going to stop and have a coffee and hopefully take a few photos and show you a few pictures. We've come up quite a lot in altitude. I must check it on me sat nav where we are. Anyway, YouTube, so we're making our way up the 260. We've found out why the sat-nav didn't want to come this way. There are what I would class as severe roadworks, a mega construction of widening the road, building tunnels, lots of delay, lots of traffic lights. We're fairly lucky we haven't actually come to a complete stop, but the queue coming the other way was quite long. And there's lots of places where they're holding traffic up, and to be honest, if you're in this area in the next, what I'd say, probably 6 to 12 months, I would just avoid this road. You can't really ride it, you won't get the experience of how good it is, because it's just so busy. It's a shame, really. It's no overtaking all the way up, so like I say, just avoid it. We're going to stop at Castle Johnson Jan at the top before we head down again, and we're going to have a cup of coffee and probably a bit of lunch or something. It's 11:45 now. I'll leave the camera rolling because it's absolutely gorgeous following this ravine up the valley. But there's been a lot of work, a lot of men doing work, a lot of construction. The chap driving this coach has got some bottle. He really has, I'll say that. Because what he's had to contend with, if you was a rookie and you hadn't been on the job long and they says, take these people up to Castle Johnson Jean, I think you'd find it quite scary. And this is the easy bit. I should imagine originally this would have just been a cattle way for donkeys and then for carts, and gradually small cars, and then bigger lorries, and now coaches are coming up and they've got to widen it and widen it and widen it, and it's a big project. Look at that all the way up. Fantastic, really. I'm ready for that coffee. So here we are, up at Castle John de Sos. We found a cafe just here, Panderia, cafeteria, bar. We'll just pan round. There's my wife, playing with her hair. She's got a top knot on. She wants to be careful I don't get run over by this Gobirio and old Aragon. Yeah, big smile. Okay, YouTube. So we've just left Castle John de Sos, where we had a nice cup of coffee and a big croissant. Very tasty, actually. We watched a cat sit and play and devour something with long legs. I don't know what it was, but it was quite a wicked way for the poor little critter to die at the hands of the cat, but still. So we're on the 260 again, so we're following this road all the way. This is the old way, zigzagging the mountains, and although, like I said to you, the journey up was littered with roadworks, I mean, frightening. We've actually stayed on the 260. A lot of the traffic went straight on, so I presume they were going up into the mountains and over into France. But we're stopping on the Spanish side. We don't really want to go into France. And it's a cracking bit of road again. We're back on the open, quiet twisties. Nothing about. It's lovely. But as I say, not the best if you are planning on coming over. The stretch on the downhill section back down to Campo from Castle John is not much cop. Anyway, enjoy these roads, shall we? Great fun. I've looked at the sat nav, it looks twisty for about the next 25 kilometres. That'll do, won't it? I said to Linny, we've got about 350 k's to go. I says we'll drive for another hour and a half and have another coffee. Do me. Okay then, YouTube, so this is a place called La Pobla de Segur. Now, if we'd have stayed on the other road, it would have took us across and joined just past here, where this is where you pick up the N260 again. Whereas we stayed on the N260. Now, although the journey up the mountain, where all the roadworks are, was a bit of a bind, we did cop the lights pretty well, to be fair. We just had a very slow journey up. We didn't have to wait. But from the top where we turned off back on the 260 and across and down, it is a fabulous road. It really is worth doing. It's cracking. So I just thought I'd let you have that one. Anyway, just as we pass through the town here, we take a left on the 260. This bit's the 230, and I think the bit across the bottom for the divert was the 230 as well. But if you're in no rush and you're not worried about a few roadworks, check it out. Cracking bit of road, absolutely cracking. We saw very, very few vehicles. I think I did 2 extremely easy overtakes and nothing else about, to be fair. So here we are. The 230 goes back across and we take a left and stay on the 260. Nothing's about. So I'm hoping the road will be just as good from here onwards. We're on this for about 20 odd k's before there's a change. We'll stop for a coffee there. Okay, I'll put the camera back on because I think it'd just be a shame not to show you this stretch, this uphill stretch on the 260. It's absolutely sublime. You need to be careful around some of these right-handers, but they kindly put mirrors on the sides for us so you can see if there's a coach or something coming. Absolutely amazing. Oh, we've got a traffic light. Trust me to stick the camera on just as we get a traffic light. Yeah, cracking bit of road up here. You just look across at the sat-nav and you think, ooh, when do they stop? I think we've got another 10 k's of this before there's a junction or a turning. Surface is quite good. It's dark tarmac. Get on your own side of the road, mate. There's nobody about, but they still want to ride the bloody white lines. Climbing and climbing and climbing we are. You can tell as you go up because it starts at about 18 degrees at the bottom, and by the time you get halfway up it's 15 degrees. Look at this. The views across to the left are good. Anyway, I thought I'd better give you the taste. Here we are, the top of one of the passes. Look at that. The Pyrenees. They don't disappoint, do they? All this lovely greenery, lush greenery, trees, passes, and a strip of tarmac winding its way down. So we've reached the top, and just literally as we got to the top, we must have entered a different county or something. Because that lovely, lovely brand new black tarmac has been substituted for this old grey red stuff. And also the rock, if you look at the rock, it's very, very sandy this side. It's changed big time. But the views are just as spectacular on the way down. I've looked at the sat-nav and it's a proper twisty down. I'm just going to go across and show you all those roads we've got to go down, all them. Tremendous. I'll leave it running a bit. There's the cows going to milking. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. I've seen a few cyclists. I think you've got to be a proper seasoned cyclist to ride these roads on a pedal bike. It's unmerciful. The bends go on forever. Okay, so we've come down off that stretch, and this is a place called La Pobla de Segur. And we're going to stay on the 260. So we take a left here, over the bridge, and up the hill. Mixture of old and new architecture. Onwards and upwards. So we've just left Pobla de Segur, and I'm just showing you the views. We've got 26k of this road before the next turn. There's everything on this road, absolutely everything. Ups, downs, twists, turns, fast straights. As we say, something for everyone. Right, YouTube. It's been a funny afternoon. It's absolutely belted down in places. The difference in petrol prices here is ridiculous. Anyway, so just before we went up the valley, it was 26 degrees where we stopped for a comfort break. 26. At the top of the hill, it was 7 degrees. 7. Unbelievable. We're in Andora now. We're in Andora now, and the temperature's 12. Never been to Andora before. My old pal Marky Bruce says it's mad there. Everybody drives like nutters. And it's busy, busy, busy.